When Saucy Santana said,
And I used to go fishing when I was a little girl. You gotta be real quiet on the creek.
he was being incredibly deep and was talking about discernment, patience in order to survive. I can already hear you guys saying, there's no way that Saucy Santana was being deep here. It's just something funny that he said. And while you may think that's the case, I urge you to really think about it. Let's address the elephant in the room. What is he talking about when he says silent on the creek? If you analyze the scenario that Santana's in, he's talking about fish. And while he's talking about fishing as an experience that he used to have, fish in this context refers to fake friends, bigots, or people that don't have your best interests at heart. The person that gave him
Blue dolphin, and he got a head on me.
was Carisha, or Young Miami. Young Miami is currently going viral for her hit song, Spin That. And I've already made a video talking about how that song relates to Ronald Reagan's anti-black policies. The significance of the fish that Santana's eating is that it's a snapper with the bones in it and the head still in. And what is that an analogy for? That's the analogy of someone that's smart and pretty and hidden in your circle. If you're always loud and talking on the creek, you would never know where they're standing. But because somebody was silent enough to let them speak and spew their ignorance, they were able to catch that fish, and now Santana is feasting. Because Santana surrounds himself with such visionaries, it makes sense that he would instinctively want to say something deep and profound. Santana gives the antidote of when he was a little girl, he used to go fishing. When he chose to specifically refer to himself as a little girl, that was actually intentional and to gauge the audience's response. Santana knew that this clip would go viral, and so he wanted to see who was really for him and who was against him based off of their reaction to that euphemism. We see it all over the internet, where when bigots get comfortable, they immediately start laughing at you instead of with you. If you look at any of the comment sections around that video, you can really see where people stand in regards to their understanding of queer people and queer lingo. He adds this layer of confusion in order to gauge who's really for him versus the people that say they are, but they're really laughing behind his back. Several historic black figures have used this tactic in order to figure out who really is who they say they are. For instance, my mind immediately goes to Harriet Tubman. If Harriet Tubman didn't have discernment about who was really safe with the Underground Railroad, she risked getting caught. The 4 words silent on the creek are intentional and incredibly important because creek is a homophone for creek, with creek being a noise that is made. Fishing is a game of patience, so if you're too loud, then you risk scaring away all the fish. When you scare away all the fish, you may think that you've won by having them be silent. However, you're really losing because you're not able to eat. Sometimes you have to be in spaces where you're unsure about where people stand, and you have to be silent in order to gauge their reaction to you and your people. Black people across America have to do this when they code switch and operate differently in environments of discomfort. While you instinctively may want to call everybody out and point out how unfair things are, sometimes you have to play the game in order to understand what's truly going on and who's really for you in the event that something goes wrong. When fish know that they're being targeted, what do? They swim away. Sometimes you just have to be silent and let their ignorance slip out, and that's when you're able to feast. So the next time you say silent on the creek, perhaps consider the deeper meaning.